Hi, this is Burgo. I'm going to run through another edge reduction method for Saturn. My Saturn has the 0 faces on the white and yellow faces. It was suggested by Andrea on the Twisty Puzzles forum that a Sune used to permute these two edges on my 0 U layer will effectively flip them, and I'll show you what she's talking about there. There's my Sune, and my three edge pieces have been cycled around this way. If I add a U-turn to that, places these two edges back and flips these, or permutes these two. Effectively that's flipped them, because if I now turn this up there, that one's been flipped, and if I turn this one into here, this one's been flipped. So that's essentially a flipping sequence as well as a permutation sequence. That gives me the freedom to reduce my edges on Saturn like I would in Jupiter, not taking into account any flipping of any edges. So I can do 90-degree turns instead of just limiting myself to 180-degree turns, and reduce this and here's my last two. Right, once all of my edges have been reduced, some of them are going to need flipping. I'm going to start by just checking around my equatorial layer here, and like this, notice if any of my equatorial layer edges need flipping. And in this case my orange one's correct, my orange and green one's correct. You can see that just because the orange is on the orange centre there. The orange and blue one is correct also. I'll just show you. That's correct. This one here obviously is incorrect, it's in the wrong spot. So let's have a look for the red and blue, which is there. That one is requiring flipping as well because it's not lined up with the red face there. So I've got two that require flipping and two that already are flipped. Flipping the equatorial edges first will make the white and the yellow edges easier to do. I'll put this into the top, put this red and green edge into the top, and I don't want to flip it with one of these other equatorial edges that are already placed correctly, so I'll look for a green edge to bring up into the top. It needs to colour match, because what actually swaps is these two pieces here with these two pieces, not the inner edge. The inner edges don't move. So these can be any colour as long as these two are the same. Let's swap this with this to flip them, and this one's now correct. My other one was this one, so I'll be looking for a blue or a red edge in the white or yellow variety. And it has to be one that's going to go up adjacent to it. So now I can flip these two by permuting them. And now this one's correct. And all of my equatorial edges are now correct. If you happen to get the situation where you flipped equatorial edge there, doesn't have a matching white or yellow edge to go up, in the correct orientation adjacent to it, you don't want to use one of your already orientated equatorial edges. So what you can do is set yourself up to flip this edge with another one of the same colour, and now you'll be able to reposition that edge to flip this. And you've achieved your goal. Now I've placed all of my equatorial edges, or I've flipped all of my equatorial edges, just to show you, every one of them will be flipped into their correct position. So I'm going to have a look at my yellow and my white layers. So I'll put that one up to there, and this one up to here, and we'll just check for whether some of these edges need flipping. If it's on the opposite side of what it should be, or if it's on the correct colour match side, it won't need flipping. So this one, an orange on a green, that one's flipped. So you can see it's flipped because it's on its adjacent edge piece. This one doesn't need flipping because it's on its opposite. As you can see, if I twist that over, that will be correct. So I've got two that are correct and two that are incorrect. So if I permute these two, my Sune, those two are now correct and those two are now correct. Let's have a look at my white and turn my white up. And my white is actually in the situation where all of the edge pieces are on their adjacent pieces, which means that a simple U-turn would fix that. So now they're all on their opposite, or all on their correct orientation. So my edges are now reduced, and I can go ahead and start reducing my corners.